Hello, my name is Rakesh Sethi, Corporate Executive Chef for Radisson Hotel Group South Asia. Today's module is about pest control, types of pests and their control measures, and stored product pests. It is important for any food service establishment to institute a proper pest control mechanism to deal with any kind of pest infestation on its premises. Here we will discuss in detail the different types of pests, why we need to control them, and the different methods of controlling pests. First, we will answer what are pests. Pest is any living organism that causes damage or discomfort or transmits diseases. Pests pose threat to food, which often lead to contamination as well as wastage. A catering establishment also has to follow certain norms with regard to pest control under Schedule 4, Part 5 of the FSS, Licensing and Registration of Food Businesses, a Regulation Amendment 2018. These include: the food business operator shall implement an effective pest control program. The pest control program should be able to identify the pest to be controlled, the area or locations where control is to be applied, the method of control using permissible physical, chemical or biological agent, the permitted dosage in case of chemical agents, the schedule with which pest control has to be done, responsibilities of the persons involved in the pest control, and so on. Pesticides used shall be permitted under the Insecticide Act 1968. The pest control should be performed by a personal trained and authorized personnel. Ensure this person can read capital alphabets. The pest control system in practice should be continuously monitored. Records must be updated of pest control measures taken along with the pest contracts. Care must be taken to ensure that the pest control activities do not contaminate food. Pest control activity or measures is based on 4Ds approach. These are: deny entry, that is to prevent entry of pests; deny shelter, which means eliminate harboring sites of pests; deny food, which suggests elimination of food sources to the pests; destroy pests, which simply means to eradicate pests. Now we will understand in depth about the different types of pests and their control measures. The different kinds of pests we struggle with are cockroaches. They are the most commonly found pest in the food service facilities. They breed in places that are warm, that is 26 degrees centigrade or higher, and moist, which is 65% humidity or higher, hide in cracks and crevices and are attracted to surfaces with spilled food. They generally leave coarse paper like fecal droppings as well as fecal smears that dry on surfaces. The control measures for pests are simple. Let's see them one by one. Check all equipment such as microwave, ovens and electric grills for any leftover food particles. Inspect and clean all food preparation equipment and surfaces and remove food particles from drains. Use recommended chemicals to treat all cracks and crevices. Ensure that all such cracks and crevices are properly sealed. Use permitted insecticides after business hours. Maintain good sanitary conditions in the premises. Keep all dustbins covered. Install cockroach traps over the drains. Ensure good lighting and ventilation, as cockroaches prefer damp and dark places to nest and breed. The next pest we are going to talk about is rodents. Rodents primarily include rats and mice. Rodents damage or contaminate food and property and spread diseases through their feces and urine or by contact with the surfaces. Rodents usually gain entry through open drains, doors, windows, ventilators, openings around water pipes, sewers, etc. So, installation of mechanical traps around such entry points are an effective way of denying them access into the premises. Other control measures for pest infestations include installing tight-fitting windows, keeping all drains covered with mesh, inspecting all holes and cracks and seal them, setting up lethal traps such as sticky traps and regular snap traps where rodent infestation has already occurred. Mechanical rodent traps include live traps, which must be checked daily, and rodents or other carcasses should be removed as soon as possible. Another effective way of controlling pest is rodent baiting. Poison baits can be used both indoor and outdoor. However, if indoor baits are used, then the rodent could die within the premises. So, careful tracking of the baits is very essential. Rodents prefer to travel along walls, so try to place the baits where the rodents are likely to find them. If a bait is put up in a public space, then it is important to put up a secure bait station along with it. The next kind of pest we are going to discuss about is flies. Flies are the most common pests associated with food handling facilities. Flies hover over garbage and dump sites and rub off the dirt and germs sticking to their pads on the food, equipment, and any other food contact surfaces. Flies can be broadly divided into three categories. The garbage fly. These include the housefly and green, blue, or coppery colored blowflies, which are commonly seen near garbage cans. Fruit flies, which are found near damaged or discarded fruits and vegetables. And lastly, the drain flies, which breed in floor or sink drains, as well as the drip lines of air conditioners, freezers, and ice makers. The control measures for these include maintaining proper sanitation in the premises, keeping all food areas clean and dry, cleaning all spills around beverage dispensing stations, cleaning the drains regularly to prevent the buildup of sludge. This is an effective way to control drain or fruit fly infestation. Checking the refrigeration and ice maker drip lines and clean them when necessary. Install light traps both indoor and outdoors to trap flies. They should be mounted preferably 4 to 6 feet off the ground. Keeping all food waste in tightly covered bins. Cleaning garbage bins regularly, and installation of fly-proof doors and windows in the kitchen also prevents their access into the kitchen. Next, we are going to study about stored product pest. The Indian meal moth, which is a small moth with coppery colored wings. This is probably the most common stored products pest, and the flour and grain beetles. These insects attack a wide variety of food items. Flour, spices, pasta, and cereals are particularly the favorite food items of these beetles and moths. Food products contaminated with these insects are unfit for consumption. Tiny holes in cereals along a powdery residue are the signs of infestation. The control measure for this kind of infestation include keeping the food establishment, including equipment, in good working order to prevent pest access. Eliminating potential breeding sites. Storing food in pest-proof containers above the ground and away from the walls. Treatment with permissible chemical, physical, or biological agents within the appropriate limits without compromising on food safety. And lastly, maintaining a records of pesticides or insecticides used along with the dates and frequency. The last kind of pest is ants. Ants cause immense damage to food and transmit diseases through their excrement, thereby rendering such food unfit for consumption. They often make their nest in spaces between walls, under floors, and in undistributed litter in the outdoor. Ants prefer sweet and salty foods. The control measure for ant infestation include maintaining good sanitary practices, keeping all food covered and in airtight containers, applying pesticides wherever necessary. With that, we come to an end of this module on pests and their control. Let us now summarize the pest control measures. To prevent pest infestation, always maintain an environment which makes it unattractive to pests. Keep pallets and machines isolated and away from the walls and buildings. Follow a systematic design and maintenance of external spaces, which include elimination of holes and spaces in wasteland, regular cutting of grass lawns, the elimination of stagnant water, the absence of rags, papers, plastic films and other detritus abundant on the ground. Keep interior surfaces such as racks, tops of pieces or furniture clean. Keep the technical area of the building clean and tidy to prevent rodent infestation. Install mosquito nets at window and suitable screens on access doors. Rigorously maintain a proper upkeep of waste containers. With that, we come to an end of today's module. Thank you for watching this video.